Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my goodness, you gotta love that little Irish jig going on there.
I know, it was awesome. Yeah, I loved it.
'Tis the season. Hey everyone, we're so happy to have you here today on Three Themes Live. This is the place to be for theme number 1, something to make you smile. Theme number 2 is something to learn.
That's right.
And theme number 3 is discover. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to Three Themes Live. My name is Kris and I'm here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and I'm so thrilled to be able to have you here for another show today. I have to give a shout out to Christy out there in the comment section. She said it was bright and sunny out there in Michigan, and I have to know, are the tulips blooming yet? Because I know there's a whole bunch of them your way. So I know that around here, spring is definitely here, and we are absolutely thrilled about it. In fact, it might be something that we're going to be talking about today, because we're talking about miracles this week, and Suzanne is with me. Welcome,
That's
Suzanne.
Right. Thank you so much.
And you have, you know, when I asked you about a miracle, you said?
Well, there were so many.
Yeah.
But I mean, every day I get up and I look around.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a fantastic view outside. I've got fruit trees in my backyard, and nature is my miracle.
Absolutely. So
I think
just being
feels that way.
outside, absolutely. Yeah. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. But before we do, I want to find out, did you watch yesterday's show?
It was awesome.
Wasn't that great?
Such cute people.
Oh.
Those little girls. Oh, they could have their own Three Things Live.
You know, that is so true. In fact, if they're watching, you know, come on out to Utah anytime. You can be, you know, a guest host with me. We'd have a blast. They were so well put together, weren't they?
I was very impressed by the polish.
Yes.
You know, they're better than I am.
That's right. They're adorable, and their mom is amazing. And if you didn't have a chance to watch yesterday's show, I would love to encourage you to do so, because it really, it was one of those shows that I don't think I'll ever forget, because I love when somebody can, you know, make something special out of something that actually was very tragic.
Yes.
And be able to offer help in some way. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, definitely check out yesterday's show. It was with Angela Tilsher, who lives in Florida. She's the author of The Miracle of the Mountain Quilt. And we had her on for an interview to talk about the book during theme 2, but during theme 3, we talked about the Appalachian Doll Project. And I have already seen so many of our friends out there who have gotten onto her Facebook page and shared, you know, how thrilled you were to be able to learn more about her and the project that her and her 2 young daughters have spearheaded. And so thank you for doing that. And if you haven't had a chance to pop on over to Mountain Heirlooms and to the Appalachian Doll Project Facebook page, I encourage you to do so, because it really was amazing.
What a miracle for the people I mean, it affects so many people, and that's a miracle
in itself.
In itself, yes.
Absolutely.
Just
and, you know,
taking the initiative to do that.
Exactly. And we were talking yesterday about, you know, this was a book that was, you know, brought about because of the survivors of Hurricane Helene. Mm-hmm. And would you believe that it was just a short 6 months ago? I can't get over it.
I know.
Right?
It was shocking.
Yeah.
My daughter was affected in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
They still haven't gotten their roof fixed.
Really?
Yeah. So,
wow.
But it just takes forever. But it was just.
And there's people still living in
people
tents.
are still, and people are alive. And
yeah. So it really is incredible what Angela Tilsher is trying to do. You know, yesterday we kind of talked about sometimes you're not sure what to do, so you just stay stagnant. Yeah. And she's giving us all an opportunity to help in some small way, right?
It directs us on what we can do,
Absolutely.
which is fantastic.
So. Yeah. So Angela yesterday helped us kick off our new theme for Stitch Your Story this week, and it actually it's going to be the theme for the entire month, but this week we're focusing in on the word miracle. And each day this week we're also sharing a quilt block from our own stories and hopefully sharing a technique that might be new to you. So I'm very excited about that, and we're gonna dive deeper into that during theme number 2. But before we do, Suzanne, you brought some photographs for us to take a look at to kind of, you know, set the stage for your block today.
I did. I had a daughter who is a photography major, and I don't really know how to take pictures, but she taught me some of the things that she knows how to do. So I enjoy taking pictures everywhere I go. Like, I will stop as I'm on a walk. I see a flower blooming. I will get down really close, take a picture of it. People probably think I'm really weird, but I don't care because I just think they're beautiful. They're just, you look at them and it's like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that grew from a teeny tiny seed and it's like growing out of the ground.
It is incredible to think about, isn't it?
It really is. So,
okay, so let's take a look at some of these photographs you brought in. Wow.
Those are my sunflowers.
Wow.
One year I was very successful with sunflowers. Most of the other years I haven't been.
That is, you have a really good eye for capturing
I think
some
it's
great
so
detail.
fun. I think it's so fun to take the pictures.
And where are some of these photographs taken?
Well, those were in my backyard.
Okay.
Those sunflowers. These, like the walkway with the tree in the shadow, that was Scotland. The other 2 are in my backyard, just the turning leaves. I just thought they were beautiful. And they make such an amazing sound.
Oh, don't they? Yes.
Yeah, they do. The one right there, I love finding leaves that fall. That was probably Ohio, now that I think about it. The yellow leaf in the middle. And then the other coastline, that's when we had our trip to Scotland.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay. Yes, absolutely gorgeous.
Of course, the thistles from Scotland.
The thistles. Who would think a thistle was so beautiful?
They are so pretty.
They really are.
Oh my gosh, they're so pretty.
That pop of purple, wow.
Yes, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think those are all from Scotland right there. And then that's the Oregon coast right there, the bridge.
Another favorite place of yours?
Yes, it is. I grew up in Oregon. I didn't realize how fantastic Oregon was until I moved away. The beauty there.
Well, Janet is joining us from Tigard or Tigard? Tigard, Oregon. So
she may know some of those places. That's a bridge by Depot Bay, or Newport, I believe it is. And then the flowers there, I think, are from Seattle. I can't remember what that house is.
Just outside amongst nature. Yes.
So, that, I will say, the one with the melted snow heart, that was, my daughter took that one. It was just something she came across. So the other one is the sunset, sunrise from my house.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And then, of course, the tree that.
It's very majestic.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was just at the end of my street.
Sure.
So.
What else do we have here? Let's see. Oh,
more flowers.
Beautiful.
I think those are from. I think that's from Washington City. Yeah, that's my daughter's backyard in Washington that I just got back from visiting her. And then,
beautiful.
Of course, my cup sitting on the porch. I was. That was at the Oregon coast. I sat out there to do a little sewing, although it got windy. So, and then that's just a really big tree we found in a park in Washington, across the street from my daughter's house.
Wow.
And then the last one, this is all Oregon. I came across that tree trunk that had fallen over. It's like petrified wood.
Sure.
Excuse me. And then the spray is a king tide at Depot Bay. It just comes up. Oh, it sprays up so high, so powerful. You are drenched if you're standing there, and then. They're amazing. The power was.
So you have some beautiful places that you've taken photographs from all over. So including Utah, Oregon, Scotland, Ohio.
Yeah.
I'd love to know in the comments, what are some of your favorite places that you've taken photography? You know, for me, I know that when I go to Yellowstone, that is a place where I have to take so many pictures
Oh,
because
yeah,
I'm taking
yeah, definitely.
photographs of the animals and of
Yeah.
course the nature and so forth. But let us know in the comments, what are some of your favorite places? It could be in the country or outside the country that you definitely don't want to leave your camera home.
Oh,
right?
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Just-
love to hear.
I'm sure so many people have so many good places to go. Really, wherever you go, you're going to find something. And another one I like doing, we went to, I've only been able to travel to two or three really fun places. Portugal, Italy, and Scotland. Those three.
Wow, that is amazing.
But Italy, architecture everywhere. It was just amazing. So anywhere you go, you're going to find something fantastic.
Definitely.
I just confess that when we were in Italy, I took pictures of doorknobs.
Sure. Oh, the doorknobs are
The
some of my
doorknobs
favorite
and door knockers.
things.
They were amazing.
Yes, yes, and I love like the doorways
Yes,
too.
yeah,
I
that
get
was
excited
really
about that. But
beautiful.
Patsy said just everyday life,
Absolutely.
which is very, very true.
It's like we were saying earlier that every day you wake up, every day is a miracle.
It really is.
If you really think of it with the gratitude that.
Rachel shares that Lake Superior in Minnesota.
Oh, I bet that's beautiful.
And I know that someone earlier said Arizona. Very different, right? Very
so
different
much stuff there
landscapes,
to
but
see, though.
absolutely gorgeous. Deb shares the coastline from Monterey to Big Sur.
Oh,
she
that
grew
is
up there.
stunning.
And wow, hibiscus, Hawaii. I mean, lots of amazing. Susan said the glaciers in Alaska.
Yeah.
I have not been yet, but I want to.
I've never been to Alaska. I'm dying to go.
I want to.
And
Yes,
then-
for sure. So the covered bridges in New Hampshire, Marion,
Oh.
I am right there with you.
Yep.
In fact,
Those are
every
so
time
cool.
they are. Every time I see a covered bridge, I think of my dad because he just had this thing with covered bridges. And wherever we'd go, if there was a covered bridge, we were taking a photograph
absolutely,
of it. So
yeah.
that takes me right back to, those times growing up and being with him.
Your kids in Ohio probably have seen some because that's where every
Yes,
year when my
yes.
kids get their picture taken, the family picture, it's in the covered
It's
bridge.
in the covered
Yep.
bridge. There you go. Well, I love that. All right, friends. Well, we hope those photos brought a smile to your face and it helped you think about some of the everyday miracles that you see in nature. And Suzanne has a beautiful block and a wonderful technique to share with us. Now, remember, during Stitch Your Story, no block is going to be like your block.
Right.
And that's what's incredible about all of this is because everyone's is so different. So along the way, we just like to share different techniques, different things that you could do, whether it has to do with miracles or maybe it has to do with another block or project that you're making. So definitely stay tuned for that because I really love what she's going to be sharing with us. And then I don't want you to miss theme number 3 because I'm going to be sharing with you a portion of my miracle block and sharing with you a very unique way of how to transfer photographs onto fabric. And I know that's been a question a lot of you have been asking, saying, I really want to put some photography to my blocks. Well, I've got a very different way to show you how to do that, and that's for theme number 3. So we're going to head on over to the sewing machine for theme 2, and we'll be back right after this. Last week on 3 Themes Live, we took inspiration from our favorite movies and maybe embarrassed ourselves a little with our acting debut.
Your smile, your hair,
Your clothing.
Hey, we're gonna win awards for that performance.
I don't think so, Allison. The only awards we'll be winning are for the awesome projects that we made last week.
An adorable celebration table runner inspired by the movie The Emperor's New Groove, and the exclusive Hearts in Bloom quilt inspired by the movie Wicked.
Be sure to join us live every Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern. It's time to find out why you belong here. So hurry and catch up on all this cinematic goodness by watching on Facebook or YouTube or by clicking the links below.
3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
Let's go. Hi, welcome back everyone. I'm Kris.
I'm Suzanne.
And we're here to talk about a great technique on doing reverse applique.
Yep.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
And this block was inspired by your love of nature.
That's right. And I was born in Kansas, and that is the sunflower state.
Let's go ahead and show that.
This
Beautiful.
is my block. Oh, here you go.
Okay.
You
That
notice
is so
there's
pretty.
one missing.
Yes. Did you do that on purpose?
I was going to put a stem right here, but then I thought, I don't like that. It didn't feel even enough, so I'll fix that in a little bit.
Okay, I can't wait to see how you do that.
So
this is really an interesting technique, Suzanne, because this is what we would call reverse applique, and if
Right.
you'll turn it over on the other side, you might get a better idea of what's happening here, because the petals are actually cut through the background fabric, and
Right.
you're putting the fabric on the
Right.
back, which seems a little different for
it's
so many of us.
confusing because your background is actually your foreground.
Exactly.
That's what was hard.
So here's the question then. Let's turn this back around. What would be the reason why somebody would want to do reverse applique versus just putting a simple applique on top of the fabric?
Well, there are several reasons. So when you do fusible applique, you are going to always have a little bit of a raw edge.
True. Yes.
And you can always stitch it down, but it could still fray.
Okay.
So this gives you a really clean edge when you look at that. You're not going to see any fraying here on my circle.
You're right. No fraying at all.
Also, if you're doing needle turn, that's very accurate, and you don't see any fraying with that.
Yeah.
However, needle turn does take time, and it's by hand, and you know how I am about handwork.
That is so true. I didn't even think about that
Yeah.
because needle turn can give you those nice, beautiful
It's beautiful.
edges.
Yep.
But you can get the same look of it with this.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so tell us how do we do this?
Well, it's not very hard. So I've
Okay.
got this one. I'm going to move that out of the way.
Okay.
And we're going to come over here. This is another block that I started with.
Oh, cute.
It just, I was going to try to make a cool double thickness line out there. But I've changed my mind. I think it looks better without the thread showing because I'm a little wiggly on that.
Okay, so when you say the thread showing, you're talking about you chose a colored thread.
I did.
I would suggest also, if you did want to do a double row of stitching, just use a twin needle.
That's true.
And then you would have a perfect,
Right,
double
right.
circle around.
So this is like that triple stitch, it goes back like that.
Yeah,
So. And
like
so
a
it would
stretch
be-
stitch.
Yeah, so it'd be thicker to show up. But yeah, you could totally embellish these so much more in so many different ways. And I also, with reverse applique, I just stitched these two colors together and lined it up so I got the depth of, two different colors of the leaf.
Yeah, it gives
So
it a
you can
little
see
more
that.
dimension. I like that.
But we're not going to work on petals today. We're going to work on the circle because the circle is probably, if you can master a circle, then you're probably going to be okay with doing
okay.
this.
Can't
because
wait.
with the circle, there's a lot of curve.
Absolutely.
And you've got to grade your fabric with that.
Okay,
So-
and for those who might not know the term grade,
Okay.
we'll go ahead and show them as you do it,
Yeah,
but I just want to keep
That's
that in
probably
mind.
not even the right word, but it is. It works for me. It's ease to ease your fabric.
It's easing the fabric in, exactly. And a lot of garment sewers know that
Yes,
term,
if
but
you sew
perhaps not a
clothes-
lot of quilters know that
That's
term.
right. If you sew clothes, you'll know that.
'Kay.
So the first thing we need to do to get, and you're going to do this,
Okay.
we're to get this circle right here. We have to decide what size we want. Now, I brought some really old guides. You can actually use a plate. You can use a can,
Sure.
whatever makes a good circle for you.
Okay.
So what we'll do is you would take this.
Let's go ahead and put
Okay.
that right here.
All right.
Okay, so what are we
This,
using?
yeah, I got to talk about that. That's freezer paper. We
Freezer
are using
paper,
freezer
okay.
paper. Freezer paper is magic. So we've got, they make freezer paper for quilters. They have
do.
the Gypsy Quilter freezer paper. And I think we've got that online today for
We
them.
sure do.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it's
Now,
just fantastic.
now, freezer paper has a paper side to it, which
Right.
is what we're going to be tracing
Right
on.
here.
And then it has the shiny side.
You can see
okay.
that. Yeah, you can see it's shiny right there. So we're going to, I've decided we're going to use this size
Okay.
again, and I'm just going to put that right there, and we would draw a circle around it. You would do it, but I'll do the circle since you're sitting over there, and you're going
Okay.
to have to do the sewing.
Ooh, okay.
Make sure you have enough space on either side. Like, I like to have about an inch all the way around it. And then we're going to take this and we're going to cut out our circle.
Do I cut up right to the line?
You cut on the line
I'm
for
gonna
this one.
scooch over here so I can do
cut
this
on the
in
line
front of
for
you.
this one, but when we get to the fabric,
So I
we
get in
want-
here and I cut out.
cut it perfectly on the line.
Okay.
Because that's
so-
the finished size that we want.
Okay.
If you need better scissors, let me know.
Yeah, I should probably, well, you
I
know
mean,
what?
I brought these
That's
little
okay.
straight ones. Okay.
The nice
Yeah, 'cause
thing
there's not a
about
curve
these
there.
has a curve, so if you put it that in the right direction,
Right.
you've got this curve that's
Yes.
kind of built right into it.
Honestly, the applique scissors, the Kimberbell scissors, like this is going to be useful for you, these right here, because it's going to help you not cut into your foreground but background.
Sure,
so as you
sure.
clean off the back with
If
the
I'm not
extra
exactly on the line,
You're good,
is all
don't-
hope lost?
fabric. No, hope is
Okay.
not lost.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. All right.
All right,
So,
so-
I cut that out.
We have our circle.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be doing. So what would you would do now is you would take this to your fabric and you would press the shiny side right here onto the back of your fabric after you've centered it how you want it.
Okay.
So I've gone ahead and done that for you because that way it keeps us,
Oh.
we won't really look at this one, but these right here.
And I will say that that's the beauty of using the freezer paper, because
Yep.
if you pull this up,
Yep.
it just comes off. There's no sticky residue
Exactly.
left, and you can use it and reuse it
You
as
can
often
use it
as
3
you
or
want.
4 times
Yeah.
and it'll continue to stick.
Okay.
So the next thing you're going to do, so you've cut your circle out perfectly here, but we need a little bit to fold back so that we have
yes.
a nice finished edge, nothing raw sticking out.
Okay.
So the next thing you're going to do is, it doesn't hurt. This can be a little more jaggedy, but cut about 1/2 inch from that circle right there.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be perfect. I think I started it for you already. There's a little cut right there, yeah.
This one, let me grab.
Try those. Those are a
Okay.
little sharper. And then just go and cut a little bit,
Maybe
like about
about-
1/2 inch away.
Okay. And
If it's more than that, it doesn't matter.
I can see here that we're going to be cutting slits into this,
Yes,
right?
you are. So that's going to help you ease this fabric around that curve, because sometimes you're going to get, if you're not careful, you will get points in your circle. And I've got a couple of those in my petals over here, but I'm like, you know what? Petals aren't perfect.
That's
I
right.
don't care if
That is
I got a
very
few points.
true. How's that, Suzanne?
That's
Is that
just
okay?
great. Yep, that's just great. So you can see she's cut out the center here, but we can't. There's no way you could get this to roll back and give you a nice finished
So I've got to cut slits.
So you're going to cut slits, but you're going to cut them all the way to the edge.
Really?
Of the paper. Don't cut through
Really?
your paper. All the way to the edge.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And you're going to want to do them fairly closely together.
Is that close enough?
You can see how close I did them here. They're probably, I'd say every, like, yeah, that's probably pretty good.
Okay.
About a quarter, about 1/3 of an inch apart.
Yeah.
I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
And then if
And
you're,
of course, if you know, as you do it and you find that it's not working, you can put in another cut.
exactly, you can add another cut, which I had to do on some of my petals. I thought, oh, I'll just cut it in half and just fold them back, because it's really kind of a gentle curve for that petal. But that didn't work. So you would do that all the way around.
Okay.
Now,
Love
this
it.
is the fun part.
Okay.
You have to press these back. I've done this 2 ways now. So with this, you can use the glue stick here, but you cannot reuse this paper. It will tear.
Oh,
So you
okay.
could fold this back and like run glue stick around it,
Ooh, I like
fold
that.
it back and stick it down.
Okay.
But
What?
to save my paper, I go ahead and press it back. Then I pull my freezer paper off, then go back with the glue stick all the way around the edge on the fabric, and then just press this back, and it gives you a great finish. It really does.
Okay.
All right,
Which
so-
way do you want me to do it?
Let's do it the way I think that works the best, which
Okay,
is,
okay.
let's go take it to the iron,
Ooh, okay.
and
Here
she's
we
gonna
go.
press that back.
All right.
So just don't burn yourself.
I will do my best.
Now, and I will admit, I freely admit that I use a little steam on mine too.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
I would not even consider doing
Yeah.
it without steam.
But so
Okay.
it just, you can do it both ways. Doing the glue stick to the freezer paper is probably a little faster, but you can even sew with the freezer paper in there, but it's kind of like doing paper piecing, but you do have to tear it out and hope that you get it all.
I can see why this freezer paper is a really good idea because
It is miraculous.
It creates, speaking of miracles,
Yeah.
it creates this barrier, doesn't it?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
And it gives you your edge your finished edge that's not going to have raw threads coming out of it or anything.
Okay, let's take a look.
Yep.
Yes.
Press it down. It'll
Okay.
be fine.
Okay. I could have probably cut a little closer in some spots, I think.
Right.
But
if you don't
I
cut
get-
close enough, you'll notice it, but
Uh-huh.
frequently you can make that, go away.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right, so now we're going to take this. I'm going to get this for you. And we're going to peel this off, what you've just put on there. Okay?
Okay.
So look how fantastic that is. She's got that pressed perfectly. You're going to take this glue stick, just a little bit of an edge of it, like just tap it around. You don't need a ton. And then it holds it down perfect so that your stitching, which can get a little, a little hairy, a little tight, so that you don't have it showing. Look how perfect that is.
Oh, yeah.
I just think
That is nice.
It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
But now we
Okay.
need something besides just your cute little face or something
Hey.
sticking through that. We
That's
need
right.
a cute fabric. So
Okay.
here, you're going to want to choose
That's
something
going to be the
about
hardest part.
yeah, about the same size as what you had for your background. So this is a little bit bigger. As long as it fits over that, you're going to be good. So
Okay.
now we're going to put this underneath. Works perfect right there.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot
you
of people
pin
do.
it?
I absolutely do. So
Okay.
I like to do it from the top so I can pin it. And I just put a couple pins on the corners.
Okay.
I put the pins on so that they're out of my way
Okay.
as I'm stitching. So
So Shauna
Awesome.
is asking, what iron are we using? And Shauna, I was using the Laura Star. It's a wonderful iron, for
it's
sure.
amazing.
And Terry asks, what type of glue stick? And
I've just got a plain
just
old
using
Elmer's,
one from,
or whatever it is.
just like a school glue stick.
I want to say it's a dollar store.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to take this to the machine.
Yes,
and
you're going to stitch that down.
I'm going to stitch it down.
But
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what we're doing.
Okay.
So,
Ooh.
since I didn't love how this showed up, and I could have done it in blue, but it still would show.
Sure.
I really like using monofilament because you never see that.
Right.
In fact, it's so hard to sew with. Because you can't
It's
see
kind of hard
it.
to thread the needle because you're like, where
it's-
is that?
It's crazy. But the monofilament is like 0.004.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to want to take that and zigzag back and forth. Right, I'll show you on this if you want to look. On this one, let me show you here. You're going to zigzag back and forth over that. You're going
Oh.
to catch your petal.
Okay.
You know, the fabric that's going to be your petal or your design.
Okay.
And you're going to catch your
So-
foreground, which is your background.
Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, can we get a shot of the screen?
Yes.
Okay, you can see here that I've got the zigzag. The width is 2.5 and your length is 1.
I've got it really
you
tiny.
have a really small one,
I
don't
do have
you?
it really small because I just
Okay.
I just want to make sure nothing comes out.
Right,
you know?
right,
So-
yeah. Okay, so should I go for it?
Yes, do it.
Okay.
But go slow because
slow,
you're going to just
okay.
have to be able to jump back and forth and keep an eye, where you're.
Oh, I need to speed that up just a titch.
She doesn't have to go slow. I do.
Let's see. Here we go. Okay.
And so if you're catching the leopard print, that little pink leopard, and the blue
Yeah.
background, then you're perfect.
You know what the nice thing about this is if you are not perfect,
No
you
one's
don't
going to
s-
see
you
it.
don't see it. I love that.
I freely admit there are some of those in my petals that like I'm way out of it. It's like, whoops, especially when I got to the tips, the very edges of the petal.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Done.
you are so fast. I thought this was going to take like 10 minutes.
How fun!
Okay, so let's take those pins
Should I give
out?
it another press?
Give it a press.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's make this look a little cleaner here.
All right. I think that's going to be so cute.
I love this.
Isn't
what
it
a fun technique.
It really is.
Yes.
And it's not that hard. Okay, so here, the next thing you get, so if you wanted to do, see, you can see I glued this one down. So these don't peel up off of there until I force them up.
Oh,
So-
I can see then why you
It
would
would
do
be-
it
yeah,
afterwards. That would be
exactly.
kind of a pain.
It is a little pain because
Yeah.
then you got to peel all of this
Yeah.
out. But if I did that, I would go ahead and just stitch it down and then hope for the best about getting all the paper out.
There you go.
And I did do that.
So
But
what
this
do we
one,
do with this? Do we need
You're
to
going to
trim
cut
it?
that off. And that's why I'm saying that these
Let's grab
come in
some-
handy.
yeah.
And those come in handy.
Okay,
So
let me
if you use
scooch over.
the applique scissors, the curved one, or the duckbill, it keeps you, it makes it a little easier to get it. And you don't want to cut right on the stitching, but you want to cut up close. I'm about a
is this
quarter of an
okay?
inch. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
probably about a quarter of it. Yeah, you're a quarter of an inch,
And
eighth
of
of an inch.
course, make sure that you're not catching the fabric underneath.
Right. If you catch your little pieces that you've peeled back, that's not a problem.
Right.
But you don't want to catch your, what part that's going to be your background.
Right. Whoops.
So,
Okay.
all right. So so you could see she cut a few of the little blue things off, but no big deal. So,
Okay, that is fun.
see how easy that is?
That really is.
Now,
I
you
love
can
that.
do it with so many others. We do have a technique sheet for you.
Yes.
And you can do it with so many other shapes. The circle, I think, for me, is probably the hardest because you do have to make sure you get enough of a easing for the curves.
But I think
But it was easy.
It was actually really simple.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot simpler than I expected.
Isn't it easy?
Yeah, it is.
And then once you feel comfortable with that, you can start doing other shapes. I have seen, okay, so if you've seen Hawaiian quilting,
Yes.
it is reverse applique.
Oh,
It's on top,
right.
and they take it and they draw their design on there.
That's
and they
right.
cut through it, cut it all back, tuck it all under. I think most of them do it by hand. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is just, it's art. So,
It really is.
Yeah.
You can do this technique, this idea with,
that you're going to do applique, you sure can.
I love
And
that.
I love that it doesn't have a raw edge.
And let's take another quick look at your sunflower.
There's my sunflower.
Which one are you going to put in your quilt, Suzanne?
I'm putting this in my quilt.
sunflower is going in your
because
quilt.
it represents my home state where I was born, and then and I love sunflowers. It's like
You know, I love that you've got multiple meanings going on here too. So how wonderful.
yeah, it was fun.
Okay, are there any questions that we can help answer?
Oh, good, they've got
We've
everything
been
up.
trying to go through here. It looks like we've got the invisible thread.
Yep, we have that.
if you're looking for that.
And the gypsy quilter.
I love using the invisible thread.
I do too.
You
oh
know,
my gosh.
oftentimes I'll use invisible thread even on my quilting, my background quilting.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't want, you know, if I
Well,
want the,
you don't want it
the
to
quilt
overpower.
block.
Yes.
Exactly, exactly. So
Because sometimes the
monofilament's the way to go.
quilting becomes the art instead of the block that you
Yes,
made. And
very
I
true.
prefer my block that I made to be the art.
Yes. And then the quilting just kind of accentuates
Enhance,
it.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
enhances
exactly,
it, but it doesn't take
exactly.
away from. So monofilament is going to be your best friend when it comes to that.
Let me give you a couple of pointers on monofilament real
Yeah.
quickly too. At my house, I have a different machine at home,
Mm-hmm.
but I like to keep my monofilament in a jar, down like that, because it gives a little extra weight and pull to the monofilament because it's so thin, and it keeps it. It just gives it a little more tension.
Get an overhead shot of this one because, yeah, I think that's great.
Yes.
So this just it helps it to not unwind as fast.
Very true. Very
right?
true. Yes.
Using a thread net can also be very helpful.
Yep.
Terry's asking if you use it in your bobbin.
I do not.
No.
I just have regular RFL in the bobbin.
Yep, 100%
So,
cotton
yep.
is what you want to use in the bobbin. That's a great question.
Yeah, that is a good question
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people think you need to put that in the bobbin, and
No need.
Yeah, it's
No
too
need.
tangly.
Curtis says that he loves the reverse applique technique used in the April mini quilt from Kimberbell. And yeah, you're right. At first I thought, oh, what am I doing here? But it was so cool how it ended up working out.
That's great.
Because these eggs on this little mini quilt, it just peeled back and it was beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Don't you love learning new things? Oh, I love it.
I love reverse applique. I don't do it enough.
I don't either. I don't either. In fact, this was the first time that I did a circle. Can you believe that?
Well, you did an excellent job. Look at that, everybody. She's like a star.
Woo, woo, woo. All right. Okay, everyone. Well, we hope you enjoyed that little tutorial from Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne.
Of course.
That was wonderful. And again, as a reminder, if you're looking for the freezer paper or the monofilament thread, or the technique sheet that she put together for all of you, you can find those on our website at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. All right, are you ready to learn how to transfer photography onto your quilt blocks?
I know I am.
Oh, I'm excited to share with you a really fun, unique technique. So we'll get to that right after this. Today we're talking about a new quilt block. It's a courthouse, so it is very similar to a log cabin block, right? We're talking about foundation paper piecing today. You're gonna start out with a 1.5 inch square, and you're going to actually place it on the back of the paper that is marked. You need to take a little glue stick and just a little dab will do. And you only do that the first time. Right. I want to place the tapered edge between the 1 and the 2. And this is going to help me to know exactly where to fold my paper back. So I just flip this over. I now know exactly where to cut. Then I'm just going to place it right sides together, and you're going to sew on the line between the 1 and the 2. And you continue building this 4-inch block until you get, ta-da! Three Things Live is not just another sewing tutorial video. This is a lifestyle show, the center of a community of creators just like you that love to sew, quilt, decorate your homes, and it has a focus on all that is good in the world.
We have visits from special guests, a quarterly book club. We keep you up to date with everything going on in the world of sewing. We help you finish your unfinished projects, and we share your stories.
He's learned that he can do really, really hard things.
You can join us live and comment and ask questions, or just sit back, relax, learn, laugh, and discover something new in every show.
Come and join us every Monday through Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Or watch when you want on YouTube or Facebook. There is room for everyone. See for yourself by clicking the links below to learn more.
Three Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile,
Something to learn.
and something to discover. Let's go! All right, welcome back to Three Things.
Three Things.
Three
Number
Things
3.
Live. Here we go.
Yeah, we're on number 3.
All right. Such a fun technique to do reversible applique. And in this segment, I'm going to show you a really quick way to transfer photographs to fabric. All right, so you ready?
Yes.
The first thing we're going to do is I want to show off this picture. This is going to be on my miracle block because I consider, of course, my 4 children as a huge miracle in my life.
And that is so
and
cute.
It's one of my favorite photographs, although all of them say, oh, Mom, I don't love that. You know, of course, Jessica's talking about her braces and,
Whatever.
you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Part of life,
it
you know?
is. And it's just one of my favorite photographs of them because they all look so happy. It was one of those rare moments when all
No
4
fighting.
were happy.
No
Exactly. So I took the photograph and I just copied it onto regular copy paper. And so, Suzanne, if you wouldn't mind just cutting that out.
Close to the edge?
Yes, we don't want any of the white showing, actually.
then I
so
better
just
cut right
go
against
ahead
the
and
grain.
cut right on it.
Okay.
And it'll just go right there. Yeah. Okay, so we want to do that. And then, of course, you put it on some fabric. Now, with this, there we go.
Okay, let's get that one off.
we're going to use a product called Modge Podge Photo Transfer. Now, this is really important when doing this technique, is to use the photo transfer, and I'll show you exactly why this is. Because when I first did it, I used regular Modge Podge. I thought, oh, I've got some of that. I'll do that. Can I show you what it ended up looking like?
Oh.
Yeah, take a look at this. Not so hot, does it? Well, when I went to peel the paper back, I went, that's not going to work.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And so, doesn't work as well. When you use the Modge Podge for photo transfer, you can see the difference, can't you? So this, I mean, this is night and day, side by side. So that in itself is a discovery. Use the right product. All right. So I already put one on top of some fabric here. So what I want to do is I'm just going to place it in this bucket of water here for just a couple of minutes. Okay. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to soak the photo in here so that I can actually remove the paper on top of it.
You can see it's changing already.
Yes, you can, can't you? Isn't that something? So I'm going to set that aside here for a minute while I show you how to put the photograph on, because I knew that was going to take a couple of minutes to do. So with this, all you need to do, and I should have grabbed, here, I'll grab this because I'm going to actually get this a little messy right here.
Okay.
You're going to take a sponge brush, and with your Modge Podge photo transfer, I'm just going to squeeze this on my entire picture.
Oh.
Okay, just kind of like
really
that.
It's really thick, too.
It is. It's very thick. And just brush it over. In fact, you want a nice, even brush, and the white is going to cover it. You don't really want to see anything else here. All right.
Wow. It's like fun painting.
It is.
You could let the kids do this.
Yes, yes, definitely.
They'd actually probably have fun doing it.
They would, and it feels like magic. And you want it to go all the way to the edges, okay?
Okay.
So once you've done that, let me grab this paper towel here. Okay. You'll then take this piece and you place it of whatever your background fabric is going to be. And so with that, we're going to pretend, because I have another one just to show, but we're going to pretend this is our background fabric. Obviously, I would be using a different piece, right?
Right, because you don't want all that paint.
I don't want all the paint. Although I am going to end up covering it. So if you did end up getting the Modge Podge on there, it's totally fine because you will end up covering it with fabric, okay? So you just go ahead and you just place it on. If you want, you could take like a credit card and
make it as smooth and
just
flat.
make it as smooth and flat as possible. And then what you want to do is you need to let it dry for 24 hours. Okay, that's really important. Now, if you don't have 24 hours on you, guess what? Here's my little tip. A heat gun. It's your best friend.
Yeah.
Okay, woo. All right, and you can just do this over top. This is, you know, those heat guns from like stamping days and,
I've got a really powerful one. They're wonderful.
Do you?
Let me see that for a second. I wanted to ask you a question. Does it say on here everything about the 24 hours and everything? It says all that on here?
I'm not sure. Let me see. No, it does not say that. So just know that about 24 hours. So I would do this on front. I would do it on back. I would definitely still wait as long as you can. But if you're in a time crunch, a heat gun could be your best friend. Now, you could use a blow dryer, but a blow dryer doesn't have heat that is so concentrated.
Right.
So it will take a little bit longer. But
so let me ask this too. Does this get real dry? Like it will be really, I mean,
it
feels pretty
really
dry. Yeah.
It will be
almost crispy.
Yes,
feels like.
yes. And again, for someone who asked what copy paper are you using, it is just plain copy paper.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. And of course you want to use it you want to print it with a laser printer, okay?
Yeah, you'll get a much better resolution on your picture and
Yes,
none of
yes.
all
All right,
that.
there was another question. What was that? Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, just
All right,
printer,
yeah,
yeah.
just printer paper. All right, let's take a look at this. So again, remember I already did that step
Yep.
before
this.
Okay, so,
So
this
it
is
was-
dried for a full 24 hours. And you can see through the overhead, let me turn that around, that this
mean, it's
picture is
working.
coming through, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that something? Okay, now what's really fun is this next part.
Okay.
But I will tell you, this is a process that you have got to be patient with yourself on, all right? Because the first layer is going to come off really well, and then after that, it might drive you crazy. So I'm just going to place this right here, and then with my fingertip, go ahead, Suzanne.
Oh, okay.
And you just start peeling it away. Do you see how, oh, let's pull your head back
sorry.
right there. Okay, there we go.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Look at that. And it's just now appearing.
Oh, and then this is the right side of it.
This is the
That
right
is
side.
amazing.
Yes. Now, it does, if it's important to you that, that it's in a certain direction, then you will want to mirror image your picture, especially if you, I mean, on this it didn't matter that Jacob was on the left
Right.
when really he was on the right.
Look at that.
Isn't that, it's like peeling a
Yes.
sunburn. It's so exciting.
We all know how that feels.
Uh-huh.
Look at the piece I got.
It's so fun, right? So this is your top layer. This is
That
the
is
easiest
cool.
to pull off. Then what I would do is I would just run it under the sink a little bit to be able to remove some of those
Okay.
bits. So I'm just going to place it right back in here.
right.
Again, just kind of wash off some of that. And then you do it again. And so you're
You just totally wring that out too. It's amazing.
You do.
It
And
makes me feel like it's going to wrinkle the
this
picture.
this is permanent. Okay.
Wow.
So then you just do another
Yeah.
layer. And look, I mean, we're pressing pretty hard.
Yeah, I am.
And it's not, I mean, it's coming off, isn't it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Isn't that something else?
That is so cool because
So-
I really did. I couldn't think of what to do for my very first block. You know, the heritage. And I was like, well, I want one of all my family. I want one with the
There you
grandkids
go.
and everything.
You could give this a try. Now, if you're not careful, you could, I mean, you certainly could peel some of it off, especially if you didn't let it dry all the way. That could end up being a problem. Now, you're still going to find there's going to be some areas where that paper needs to come off even more. So here's a tip.
Oh my gosh.
Use the magic eraser.
You've got this down to a science.
Oh, yes. And this is dry. And I'm just going to continue doing this. Go ahead,
Look at
Suzanne.
that.
And you actually get even more off.
That is so
All right.
easy.
So
Look at
again, just
that.
be patient. You're going to do it to probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times
I can't wait to
until
try this.
all the paper has been removed. And now look, it is a part of your fabric. It literally is on there.
That is
it's
amazing.
permanent. Now I
I
would
know there's still more. Huh?
I would make sure that, yeah, see, look right there. A little bit started coming off.
Oh, dear.
Now, if that happens, don't fret, okay? Because that is actually part of the charm of transferring this to
Okay.
fabric. Is if there's little, little parts that come off, don't think that it's the end of the world, because I promise it isn't.
It's
it
a
actually
little
is very
distressed
charming.
looking, you know, like
It is.
antiqued.
It is, definitely. So can you believe how vibrant that is?
I can't. I'm surprised at how clear it comes out.
So you can take a look at this one.
Oh, yeah,
this is
look,
a
that's
finished
got
one.
little crackles in
Feel
it almost. Yeah, let me feel.
I mean, it's just...
It does feel just like fabric.
It does. So this is going to be the start of my miracle block. And I think what I'm going to do on mine is, you know, I love collage applique. So I think I'm going to take this background of the greens and I'm going to do collage applique all around it so that this photo is just kind of in the middle. Right now, it looks like it's just stuck there, right?
Yeah, but when you add that cute,
when I add,
yeah, it's going to be so cute.
Won't it be fun?
Yes.
So anyway, that is how you transfer
that is
photographs.
Great. This answered my question from my first block, because I never did the first one. I was coming up with ideas thinking, well, maybe I'll make like sunshine rays.
Now, one of the questions some of you might be thinking is, why wouldn't you use like the freezer paper method, for example? Have you ever used the freezer paper method?
I haven't.
Oh, that's
to transfer a paper, a picture?
What you do?
Wait, yes, I think I might have years ago.
With freezer paper, you would cut it to be 8.5 by 11, the size of what would go through your copy machine.
Right.
You would iron it onto your fabric and then just put your fabric through the copy machine. But again, remember that's 8.5 by 11, and we have a 12.5 by 12.5 inch block. So that's why I went with this method instead.
Yeah.
A lot of times the iron-on transfers are too shiny.
Right.
It almost sits on top of your fabric rather than really melding into the fabric.
Yes.
So this is the reason why I went with this technique.
That's why this is so amazing that it's like, it really is part of the fabric. And this is going to be so cute to add. It'll be like a fantastic little frame around these guys.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Yeah,
so,
it's darling.
I don't know. Again, remember to do reverse image if you're going to have lettering on there.
Yeah.
You got to do it in reverse.
Okay.
All right. So Lisa's asking, do I have a printout of these steps? I don't, but I certainly could do that. It would be very easy to do. Again, it's basically you're taking the photocopy, you're just putting your Modge Podge photo transfer on top, putting it on your fabric, letting it dry, and then rinsing it away with water. It's
that's
so,
really
so
quite
simple.
Yeah.
Anita asked if you can do this onto t-shirt fabric. Yes.
Of course.
Yes,
That's
you
awesome.
absolutely can. Now, this is my one caveat. It says on the instructions that are on the bottle, it's permanent. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Like if I had to wash this quilt, I would be doing it in cold water on a gentle cycle, or I would spot wash it.
I'm trying to think I think it will last a long time though, don't you think? And as infrequently as we need to wash our quilts.
Yes.
So
I think this is going to be one of those quilts though that is not going to need washing. No. And if I need to, I'll just do a little spot wash.
Right.
So
it's so awesome. I love that.
Thank you.
That really answered my question about what to do with that.
Good. I want to see what you end up doing with it. And Marion asked, does it have to be laser printed? Yes. You want to use a copy machine like at Staples or Kinko's or someplace that can do a laser copy.
Shouldn't be too expensive.
The inkjet just has a tendency to run. The ink runs a little bit more. So that's why I found the best results with the laser
especially
printer.
if you're painting that Mod Podge.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet that would.
All right, there's your discovery, friends.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you so much for being with us today. We hope that we've inspired you and that you walk away from being with us today feeling a little more empowered, maybe a little more skip in your step.
Yes.
Because you learned something new or were reminded of a technique that you hadn't done for a long time, like I did with your reverse applique.
And you did a great job.
Thanks. Well, you're a great teacher. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep doing all the things you love, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.